5.8, and then comes Frank Dartell in a Mini Cooper on 56 seconds. The flag's up. Ron Hodson alone on the front row of the grid. Flag drops and Hodson gets underway. Lynn Brown behind in the Jaguar coming through, but watch Ken Matthews in the Ford Mustang on the outside. That's car 64 coming down now. That's a 289 V8 and it should outdrag just about anything else, and Matthews moves right across the track.
Ron's going to have a problem because the Cortinas never were very fast off the mark. They have a close ratio gearbox using a very high first gear. And actually Ron did well to get away as well as he did.
Lynn Brown tries to move into third place behind one of the many EH Holdens that are running. Certainly the EH Holden, the taxi cab of 1964, has become the most popular motor car in this form of racing. And Brown takes third place now, only just as he comes down into BP corner. That's car 88, that's Greg Topfer.
Must be a few people clearing out under the house and in old garages, fossicking for parts some of these motor cars.
Well, in fact, you can go about it in two ways. You can spend heaps of money like Ron Hodson and presumably Ken Matthews have done, and maybe even Lynn Brown locking up a rear brake there on the Jaguar 3.8. Or you can do what some of the other drivers have done, which is bought a $200 wreck and restored it. Doug Waite, for example, who's back, and there goes Hodson, he's gone. I don't remember him spinning that well since Catalina Park 1962, Leo.
Yes, Ron has had a little practice.
So now Lynn Brown comes up to challenge Ken Matthews, and this is a close motor race. Lynn Brown all over him now. Matthews in his first motor race, Topher behind him locking up everything. And smoking the wheel on the EH Holden on the inside. This is the sort of series production action we were talking about. Except, and there we are for the black flag going up to one of the competitors, car 24. That's Bill Coombs in one of the Holden EHs. And at the end of the main straight, on the next lap through, still Matthews with Brown behind him. Two of the EHs battling for third position. And as I said, Doug Waite, a Wagga Technical College teacher, bought a $200 EH Holden and has spent $2,000 on it, turning it into a project for his technical college students. Really? That's what they used to do, Leo, burying in the boot, wasn't it?
Yes, and it's a very expensive manoeuvre in a Jaguar because those grills, I can tell you, are not inexpensive.
Well, in fact, your brother Ian, an Australian touring car champion 5 times, 4 times in a Ford Mustang, once in a Lotus Cortina, cut his teeth on a Jaguar just like that.
That's right. It was actually his third racing car. It's quite nostalgic for me sitting here watching a Mustang leading from a Jaguar because we've had both those types of cars in our stable over the years.
And Brian Foley, sitting at home at the moment, would be loving that Mini Cooper in 5th position at this stage because Foley, of course, was one of the giant killers of Australian motor racing in his Mini when he got right up, especially in the rain, with cars just like these two that you see leading right now. Topher in the EH Holden in 3rd position, giving nothing away to the more powerful 289 cubic inch V8 Ford Mustang and the 3.8 litre twin-cam 6-cylinder Jaguar. He's trying every line in the world to get through there as the Mini moves through the other EH Holden. And Lynn Brown drops back, so I think that probably was all that Lynn Brown could stand, or at least that the Jaguar could stand. Must be fairly fragile old motor cars at this stage of their life, Leo, and more suited really to the grassy lawns of Vaucluse House and a Concours d'Elegance than this sort of activity.
Yes, I wonder if he has a tyre problem because he was really in bother on that last corner before he slowed down. Yes, the Jag's quite solid in the motors, but under racing conditions, the clutches used to be rather suspect, but I'm sure that chap with Lynn's experience would have realised that and made the appropriate modification to handle the extra horsepower.
Topher now comes up to challenge Ken Matthews, who's doing a brilliant job with this motor car. being in his first race. Matthews bought this car only a few weeks ago. To become a racing driver, you have to undertake an observed practice. That means you have to drive the car in front of stewards of a race meeting, and in fact your peers, your other drivers. Now, as John Mann challenges Topher on the inside, that car that Mann's driving, number 54, is the ex-Herb Taylor E.H. Holden, which in fact at one stage was driven at Bathurst, we believe, by Brian Muir, the multiple British saloon car champion. So it's a car with a proud history. But Ken Matthews, now on his last lap and holding out a massive challenge, bought the car only a few weeks ago, and there goes Mann with the Mini Cooper spinning behind him. Dartell in the Mini Cooper, and whoever gets going first will certainly come third in this race. And here's Topher down the inside now, can't do it. Matthews has got the corner covered. Smoke coming out from everywhere in that car, and it's a drag race to the finish. But it's Matthews. There are the winners of the historic touring car race. Ken Matthews, Ford Mustang, Greg Topher in the Holden, and Steve Williams in another Holden obviously came through that melee between John Mann's E.H. Holden and the Mini Cooper S of Frank Dartell to take over third position.